Well, Ann, the Beer Store Church. Now, how's that? Pretty unique name, isn't it? It's a nickname given to an unusual outreach in downtown Hamilton, Ontario, and it's led by Jason McGibbon, pastor of Hamilton Fellowship's Church. And he's here along with his wife Kimberly and daughter TJ to satisfy our curiosity. Okay, welcome. Jason, so the Beer Store Church, what on earth is this?
Yeah, well, actually, it's a pretty fun nickname. We've got a few weird looks from it, actually, over the months and years that we've been doing it. But really, it started out as an outreach to a group of guys that we noticed meeting in our neighborhood. And they would be going through the recycling bins looking for things that they could return for deposit. And Monday morning happens to be garbage day in our neighborhood. And so we noticed that they were meeting out there before it opened. And so we just started trying to love our neighbors, to be honest. And we started with coffee and then eventually coffee and sandwiches. And now have managed to bring in some more spiritual elements, prayer time together right there on the street corner outside of the beer store. So it kind of took on that name, Beer Store Church, but it's just a group that meets there each Monday morning.
So you saw the need, you saw where it was, and so you just brought the answer to the need. Maybe a need that they didn't realize they had. Coffee, of course, is always welcome, but like you said, then you start reaching that deeper need as you build friendship with them.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had some really neat conversations with them and seen that spiritual element start to really deepen, as we've built relationships and built trust, and so that's the exciting part of it.
So these people who are going around to all these recycle bins and people's out on garbage day and finding all these empties that they can take and then get some change back from the beer store. It was picked up by a local newspaper, the Hamilton Spectator, and here is the headline that came out. Beer store angels help fill the emptiness. And I don't think they're talking about the emptiness of the bottles there. There's a deeper emptiness that you're helping to fill.
And so I know, Kimberly, your family, you have 4 children, and TJ here is your youngest, 8 years old, and we're going to talk to you in just a minute, TJ, but your family has a family motto that I really like. What is that?
Well, we've always tried to teach our kids to be on mission with God, and so one of the things we say a lot in our house is see the need, meet the need, and just really trying to instill in them that Jesus wants them to be on mission with Him, and that they all have a role to play, and they can be small needs or they can be big needs. But if you see a need, there's something that you can do about it, and so that's what we've tried to instill and teach, right?
So TJ, you're 8 years old. What does that mean to you? How do you see the need, meet the need?
That really means to me, once you find the need, you need to meet it. You need to, if you see someone who needs something, or like if he needs a friend, you go and you make friends with him. You meet his need.
That's a good lesson for all of us, no matter what our age is.
Now, you put that into action yourself, TJ, because I happen to know, some of the stories and the wonderful things as you go along with Mom and Dad to some of these outreaches. Maybe share a story with us.
One day we were doing an outreach. We go and we feed the homeless once every month, and there was a man, like a couple yards away.
Yeah, so we had a rule actually that TJ would always need to be either beside me, it was a safety rule, or beside Jason, and so it was just a really busy day, and there was lots of people to talk to, and there was lots of coffee and sandwiches to hand out, and so what happened is that all of a sudden I realized that TJ actually wasn't with me anymore.
And as a mother,
and as a mom,
stop.
Yes, and my eyes started scanning the park where we were, and I thought, no, where would she go? She knows the rule. She knows the rule. And then I looked and I saw about 100 yards away, TJ was bringing a man over to us.
So TJ, why did you break the rule? Why did you not stay with Mom? What made you go away?
It looked like he needed some friends, and I knew he was scared to come over. And
everybody else was busy, right?
And everyone else was busy, so I I left my mom's side and I went. And I said, why don't you come over for a coffee? And I got his name. And I came over and I said, Mom, this is my friend Joe. He was scared to come over, but I said that everyone belonged.
Everyone belonged.
And he
That's
gave
beautiful.
2 sugars and 3 creams.
And you knew exactly
Still
how
remember.
he took his coffee.
And that was like a couple of years ago, wasn't
Yeah,
it? And you're much younger.
Yeah,
even.
so
Like
TJ was
2
only
summers ago?
6. Yeah, 6 then,
Wow.
I think. So.
Now, I'm sure, Mom, you've had the talk with TJ since then to say, no,
Yes.
really, it's best if you do stay close to Mom and Dad, just
Yeah,
for safety
it
reasons. But on
is.
this one time, it worked out.
Yeah, and I think in that moment, God showed me that really what we had been telling the kids, He moved it right real close to home for me, because TJ was just doing what she had been modeled, right? She was seeing a need, there was nobody there to fill it, and so she went and did it. And in that way, I realized that all of us, all our kids are on mission, and it's all in God's timing, not in my own and His plan, and I can't control it all.
Right.
So that was one of the monthly outreaches in the park, in feeding people, but then that weekly beer store church outreach on the Monday morning. Has it been happening right through this cold snap that we've had here in January and then into February?
Yeah, so we've had the privilege of being out there for 2 winters now. This one is significantly colder than the last one.
Right.
But to be honest, we go out there for an hour, maybe 2 at the most. But when you start meeting these guys and you realize some of them have been out all night, at least for 3 or 4 hours before the sun gets up, then
Collecting those empties. Yeah.
collecting the empties, exactly. Then you feel a little bit bad about whining about it. So
Yeah.
you suck it up and you go out and you meet them, and it's always worth it. Yeah, it was great conversations, and they're just such great guys to hang out with.
I'm sure
Usually
you
it's my
get-
favorite time of the week.
I'm sure you get some unusual reactions maybe at first, but is there maybe a story that sticks out in your mind of a particular person at the beer store church outreach?
Yeah, you know what? We've become really good friends with a lot of them, so we got lots of names. But, one recently that's been a neat one is one guy who, we've been going there for a few years, and he's been there almost every week and just skirted around us, would go around the side of the building, do his own thing, never came up to us until we were very intentional about going up and handing him the sandwich. And then we realized that he didn't drink coffee, so the week that usually Kim is the more sensitive one. She says, you know what, we got to come up with coffee and hot chocolate this week. And so when we were able to come and say, hey, we know you don't drink coffee, but hey, we've got hot chocolate, come on, grab the sandwich. And to see the change in his heart and the relationship that we're starting to build there has been really neat. And that's a guy named Brian who comes out. Yeah, has been coming every week, but the opportunity now to speak with him, and he hangs around a little bit longer. When we have a prayer time, he'll stay and share some requests now. So it's been neat to see.
You're just modeling what Jesus did. Jesus went where the need was. He hung out with people. He brought light and love to them in their dark place, and that's exactly what your family is doing. Well done.
And it's great to hear of churches like yours that, you hear stories, right across the country of people that go outside of the box, outside of the comfort zone a little bit, and reach out into the community in very unique ways. And because you're also pastoring this Hamilton Fellowship Church, and it's kind of a network of some churches in different areas of Hamilton. And someone watching it right now, maybe they're wondering, what can they do in their community? Maybe just give an encouragement to someone who's saying, what can I do?
Yeah, I think this whole thing, we're sitting on TV talking about it, but it really started, this has just been our family trying to learn to do what, God says in His Word, which is, to do justice, love mercy, to have His heart, and allow that to spur us into action and to walk humbly with our God. And this started because we slept one night over the summer with the window open. We were just present in our community. We heard someone going through. A few weeks later, we realized we made the connection to who was going through the blue box, where they were, and just showed up with some coffee. It was as simple as that. If you can just look in your own community, just be present. I know in some more affluent ones, exactly. See the need, meet the need.
Jason, Kimberly, TJ, thank you so much for sharing your story. I know it's encouragement to others, and see the need, meet the need. And if you want prayer, call our prayer line as well.